It's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. During the next 2 hours, our experts will help you with your gardening questions when you call 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. Or come by Milberger's during the show and have your question answered in person. And now it's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And good afternoon and welcome to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Milton Glueck along with Dr. Calvin Finch, Mark Peterson, here to answer your gardening questions when you call us at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867, or come by on a nice sunny day. The sun's come out to visit with us here at Milberger, so I encourage you to come on out too and just enjoy the beautiful nursery, all the colors, still some Christmas trees at half off. And that's the price, not the tree. And we have Christmas yard art and poinsettias are 25% off. But, yeah, so come on by if you haven't gotten those Christmas items just yet.
And gift certificates, always available. If
you're trying to get something for somebody you know is a gardener but you don't know what they want, it's okay. Get them a gift certificate from Milberger's and let them decide. The cool thing is, and we'll talk about this a little bit today, the shade trees are coming in just after the beginning of January, so I guess mid-January, I think.
Well, there's shade trees now to select,
yes,
but the huge volume will be coming in.
There'll be container-grown trees initially, and then after the 1st of February, we'll have additional ball and burlap, plus traditionally fruit trees at the end of January.
Yeah. So they can come and choose from those with their gift certificate and all that good stuff right here at Milberger's at 1604 and Bulverde Road. Will anything happen in your gardening world since we talked yesterday?
Well, yeah, we talked a little bit about the monarch situation.
Oh,
yeah. Mary did gave us a report and told us that she's seen 3 flying monarchs, actually breeding monarchs. They were in kind of tough shape, looked like they were kind of at the end of their life. Then I had spotted in my neighborhood there were caterpillars hatched, monarch caterpillars hatched, which was, of course, it's a little late for them to be successful to gain their 30 days of maturity and then the long flight. So that'll be a.
Did Lulu ever reach out to you? Did Lulu ever reach out to you?
Not yet, but I'm sure she will.
All right, Lulu. Calvin may have some.
That's right. I should
caterpillars and monarchs for you.
Yeah,
for the class.
Well, if she's interested, it may her class may be organized already. Well, her kids are probably at home.
Yeah, they got the
Christmas vacation,
the winter break. Yep. But anyway, so did you you talked about that, but was there anything new with the monarchs, or did you?
Oh, yeah, I'm working with Milberger's to put together a schedule. Not just Milberger's, working with our usual partners, the Bexar County Master Gardeners and the Comal County Master Gardeners, our friends at the Sinkin Eco Center and Gardening Volunteers of South Texas. Also, the Deersea Education Resource Center partners. Include and Milberger's to get our schedule for both the potting up tomatoes and also for the for the monarch and milkweed classes in February, March, and April.
I was trying to remember, when do we normally know the rodeo tomato?
Well,
is it kind of the rodeo's in February, right?
Yeah. Well, we did back when the management was different. We usually knew it quite early. We've had a little trouble getting it identified early, but hopefully we'll know what the rodeo tomato is going to be.
Let's see,
by the 1st of February.
Yeah, rodeo is usually a Thursday and Friday, and we usually know by Wednesday at 12 p.m.
What the rodeo tomato is? Okay.
But Calvin's right. It's been a little slow.
Well, what we like to do is we like to know what the rodeo tomato is and to get some transplants. And they're too early to put it in the garden in February. But it's perfect time to pot them up.
Yeah.
And then you put them in the sun, but out of the wind, and you let them kick into growth patterns, and then later in the season, you pot them up at the class, and then later in the season you put them in the garden, and that works we try to do that every year because it's the great way to do it, because they're in high demand.
Yeah,
the rodeo tomatoes are, and the gardeners that follow this show closely like to have access to them. So.
Yeah, as soon as they can. I mean, that's a part of the thrill of spring is finding out what the rodeo tomato is, getting them, and testing them out. So,
but we're working on all of that, and then of course gardeners are working on their vegetables, harvesting, and even planting still. I did some weeding in my sweet peas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and of course, accidentally pulled a few out.
Oh, no.
Broke my heart, but luckily they're germinating pretty well this year, so there's plenty of them. But there's still a large selection of sweet pea seeds here at Milberger's for if you love that fragrant, beautiful cut flower that sweet peas provide. And get them planted. You got, let's see, what is this? Is December still? Oh, yeah, you got plenty of time. Get them planted.
I was just on my phone here. I was looking up times. And pretty much we can do English peas and edible pod peas, staggered amounts all through starting in January. So
the English peas are going. They're even more aggressive and growing ahead of the sweet peas. Sweet peas are a little more temperamental even than the English peas. And what are those peas we like the best, Mark?
We like the sugar snaps and the snow peas. Those are our favorites.
And they're especially fun to watch the kids. Go pick some peas there. And of course the kids will eat the pods and everything. And they're very nutritious and taste very good.
Well, 210-308-8867 is our number, 210-308-8867. It's a pretty day here at the nursery, so I encourage you to come on by and visit with us. Maybe you've got a picture or something, or you just want to show us. I'm still trying to get that person to call us. I want to know the longest you've kept a poinsettia going for. Yes, sir?
On this topic, I was on one of the trails. And like January or February, so there wasn't a lot of vegetation. But I came around this corner, I'm like, I wonder what that big shrub was. I get a little closer, and by golly, it was, what are we talking about?
Poinsettia?
Poinsettia.
Okay.
It was a poinsettia. It had very distinct leaves.
Now, what season was this? If you were walking, was it spring or summer?
Yeah, it was early spring.
Okay.
Huh. So the bright green stems and leaves stood out. So end of foliage.
Oh, okay.
So it must have been a mild winter.
Well, I'll bet it was not. I bet you spotted them before that record short freeze we had.
Right.
We had we had like 2 years in a row
21.
or 3 years in a row.
Yeah, I would say 20 or 19.
Even last year there was We got blasted one time.
Yeah.
Caught the citrus.
Interestingly enough, the rain chances have moved. I think they were Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yes.
And now they're tomorrow. Oh, tonight, too. 20%.
Really?
Yeah, this is according to NOAA. 20%. Now, did you see a bigger? Because I saw on my Weather Channel thing.
I was mainly on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And that was a significant amount.
Oh, good. Yeah, I saw Tuesday like 80% chance.
Mm-hmm.
But
I didn't see any.
Oh, you didn't see any? Okay.
Well, that not at that high level. I thought there were some 40% chance, I thought, for Christmas Day. But, so what's the latest?
Well, I mean, if you go by the National Weather Service website, 20% chance tonight after 3 a.m., 20% chance tomorrow before 9 a.m., patchy fog between 8 and 9. High near 75 tomorrow. That's
probably reliable because they're still on the payroll.
So that's where I was thinking too. I said they're trying to get it right,
okay.
Correct.
Okay.
At this moment in time.
I see. Okay. But yeah, so that'll be interesting to. But no freezing temperatures as far as I can see. In fact, I can't find anything lower than 54. Yep, I'm looking. Nothing.
It seems colder than the forecast.
I'll agree with you on that. But now that the sun's kind of out, I think it's warming up pretty quickly.
But this is great weather for gardening.
Yeah. So what would you suggest somebody do today?
Well,
they bought all their Christmas presents. They're just watching TV, thinking I should be out in the garden. What should they be doing?
Well, if they have the rescue grass growing like it is in my yard, doing some weeding in some of the sweet peas was where I was doing it, but your snapdragons and your stocks probably need a little weeding. You can, with the weather relatively mild, you could use a grass control. But, check the label. But the other thing is plant some of the vegetables. Broccoli's still legitimate.
That's what I was going to say. Broccoli, cauliflower, your greens, spinach, chard.
Onions.
Onions right now. Onions.
And we have some onions still here. In fact, they're on sale at $2.99 a bunch. So just a sidebar there.
And that's about 20 feet a row if you plant them every 4 inches, and they're typically
because we usually say there's about 60 per handful. And that's how they usually do it.
And are all those things that you mentioned out there? I know you check every.
Yeah, they're out there on the tables. But Calvin makes a point, and I totally agree with him. Is when we talk about peas. Mm-hmm. And some carrots and radishes. Those do well by seed, and we have an extensive seed collection over here.
Gosh, there's 7. I suspect, I'm trying to remember, but 7 or 8 different carrots, and a few beets, at least 2 or 3 different varieties of beets, and Mark's favorite. And then
are beets your favorite?
He's saying that sarcastically.
Oh, okay.
A couple of turnips.
I do my beets by pill now.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Hey,
there is no rutabaga.
Yeah, what you were going to bring some beet juice.
I forgot the beet juice. We still haven't quite gotten the hang of it yet.
Okay. Anyway, maybe the end of the year we'll celebrate with wine glasses of beet juice.
Yes.
Bring in the new year.
Fine red.
Fine purple beet.
Purple? Is it purple?
Well, you could kind of get ahead of that schedule, Mark, with those wonderful bourbon-flavored donuts that you had.
It says my girlfriend gave us 4 bags of bourbon balls, bourbon, a little Christmas gift. Both Calvin and I thought they were intense. And
we're
going, ooh, I think we better wait till after the show.
Yeah, maybe that's probably a good... All right, 210-308-8867.
Come by and join us.
We had a shot of bourbon donut.
Yeah. I imagine the alcohol part all kind of... Doesn't it go away or no?
It's supposed
when the cookout? Yeah, okay. But anyway, 210-308-8867. There's lots of folks coming up and visiting here at the nursery. People checking out the vegetables over there, and the families come over, and they're just wondering. I think they're going toward the trees. So, yep. Come on, 1604 on Boulevardy Road.
I was walking in the evergreen trees, and
the living,
the living Christmas trees over there. And we have a really good selection, different sizes, anywhere from 5 gallons to all the way to 15, 20.
Yeah, if you're partial to Colorado blue spruce, those Deodora cedar have kind of a look like that. Yeah. And
particularly when they're young, they look very much like those.
Yeah, and they work well in our landscapes. I've got one growing that I in fact got as a living Christmas tree.
Oh, cool!
About, I don't know how many years ago here at Milberger's, and then I also have the one that it works even better and is a more recommended tree is the Arizona cypress. There are lots of choices there.
Yeah.
With the one we have,
we have one of the silver models, either silver smoke or silver something.
You really don't even have to prune those to Christmas tree shape because
that's the nice thing about the Arizona cypress. They're naturally Christmas tree shape,
and they fit into your landscape. And that's the thing about if you're considering a living Christmas tree, you want to determine where you would put it after you're done with the decorations and the holidays, and have your hole ready and move it into the hole. And those both of those trees, Deodora cedar and Arizona cypress, will grow in full sun. And then we had there's some junipers and
some Blue Point junipers and some Leyland cypress. Trace mentioned that the other day. I went, I don't mention it.
Arborvitae.
And some arborvitae, yes.
Are any of the living Christmas trees on the CPS list?
I would maybe think of the Deodora and the Arizona cypress, but I would have to look.
Okay. Oh, Arizona cypress is.
Okay.
I got the list in front of me. Italian stone pine is. Well, in fact, what we'll do is we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about some of those trees. Cool? That are on the list?
On the list, absolutely.
All right. We'll get the guys' opinions. 210-308-8867 is our number. 210-308-8867. More of Milberger's Gardening South Texas coming up. Live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery, 1604 on Boulevardy Road. I'm Milton Glueck, Mark Peterson, Dr. Calvin Finch. Back after this on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Milton Glick along with Dr. Calvin Finch, Mark Peterson, and we're going to tell you right now about Pruski's Market. You heard Edmund say yesterday there's still time if you're looking to get something for the holiday that's coming up. And you just want to make it easier on yourself, have great food, but make it super easy. Pruski's can help you when you give them a call. That's pruskismeatmarket.com with the phone number. I'll give it to you in a minute. But maybe you want to do something for New Year's. Maybe you're going to have some kind of celebration. Maybe you're going to be watching some games, and you're going to be cooking some brisket. Pruski's can help you with all of that with outstanding quality meat. Pruski's is an old-fashioned meat market with people that can help you find exactly what you're looking for. And we had one of the pinwheels. We like those. Laura and I like those a lot. So we had a pinwheel last night, and man, it was good. It is so flavorful, so easy to cook. It really is. It's a heat and eat proposition, and you can get those at Pruski's.
So how do you cook it, in the oven or in the house?
We actually use an air fryer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
You don't know what an air fryer is? You know what an air fryer is.
They cook it on a skillet and they have a fan next to it? A little portable fan?
It's one of the weapons they're using in the war.
I'm pretty sure most of our listeners, besides these two, know what an air fryer is. But yes, that's what we did. So it's a little oven, like a. That's what we do. And if you're looking for great poultry, outstanding sausage, everything you're looking for, you'll find at Pruski's Meat Market, helping folks here in the area since 2006. So it's going on 20 years.
Well, and you described yesterday those
the platters, the cheese and sausage platters. Yeah.
You can't beat those there.
No,
right?
If you're looking for something to have at the party and you want to make it super easy but know that it's going to taste good, getting a platter at Pruski's, don't go anywhere else. Just get it there.
They've got distinctive flavors.
Yeah, really good sausage.
Nobody else has Swedish potato.
That's right.
Sausage.
You can get the sausage there, too.
Plus, there's 7 or 8, 10 or 12 of different kinds of sausages.
Oh, yeah, they know what they're doing. All right, it's Pruski'sMeatMarket.com, and the address is right there in Atkins, Texas, not too far. 10140 Highway 87, between 410 and 1604. But Pruski'sMeatMarket.com, or you can give them a call, and I'll give you the number right now, 210-899-3853, 210-899-3853. All right, 210-308-8867 is our number. So I pulled up a list. I know we were going to talk about it, and it sounds like Trace was saying a lot of these will be coming in if they're not already here. So I got the list of CPS qualified trees for the CPS rebate. There's lots of rules and regs, so you can read them all and understand them. But
well, they're not. Don't overstate because they're the easiest thing in the world to comply with. Yeah. It's amazing how wide open the list is.
Yeah, we wanted initially, a long time ago, some more rules, but CPS decided to go with a little bit more freedom on that, other than a certain size,
yes,
the permitted list,
right,
and the side of the house that you plant them on.
Yeah, I mean, and then the only other thing I could think of was, and we had this debate on this, was it's a lifetime thing per family.
Yes.
Yes.
Per house.
Per
not
house.
Not
house.
Family. Per house.
Per house. Okay. Okay. So should I just drop one out there?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. I don't know if we've ever talked about the golden ball lead tree.
Okay.
Have we ever talked about that?
Yeah, Lucina
Not that I remember.
Lucina retusa.
Gesundheit. What?
No, that's the scientific name.
Hakuna Matata.
Lucina retusa.
Okay.
Look on there. They should have it.
They don't have the...
Oh, they don't?
But maybe I'm on the wrong page. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe not.
Okay.
Maybe so.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, tell me about the Lucina...
So that will be a pinnately compound, a real feathery leaf. Found natively west of Uvalde, and has golden or yellow flowers in the springtime. And they're shaped like a little marble or smaller than a golf ball.
The flowers are?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people overwater them.
Oh.
So they don't need much water. Of course, water to start with.
So maybe if you have a irrigation system that waters everything, maybe this is not the tree?
That's not the tree for you.
Okay. Are you familiar with the golden ball lead tree?
No.
Okay.
That's one of the.
I wouldn't consider it a shade tree. That's some of the issues that are on this permitted list.
Okay.
It's very generous. I would not consider a lot of these trees shade trees. However,
okay.
Another. Let's do another.
How about the Anacacho orchid? Did I do that right?
Yeah, similar, same area. Orchid Bauhinia is the family, and it's a big family, and that's the native one. Bauhinia Anacacho orchid tree.
Okay. It's another one that it's pretty hard to consider it a shade.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, very attractive, and
the flowers are very aromatic.
Yeah, and the wildlife likes it.
Should I go alphabetically?
You seem to have been, but skip around.
Okay, I'll skip around. Mexican olive.
Again, smaller.
Okay, you're killing me here.
Yeah, I know.
Lacy oak.
Lacia.
Well, but the Mexican olive is worthy of talking about.
Oh,
Yeah. It's one of these smaller ones, too, but it's one of those few native plants that have flowers during the summertime.
And it's one that we quite often carry here at Milberger.
Yes.
And the big white flowers, and of course the butterflies love it. And it's attractive.
Butterflies, bees, birds, maybe hummingbirds. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They do. I've got one, and freezes back sometimes, but it comes back, and then it was famous for there was one at the Alamo, and used to freeze back occasionally, and then everybody would talk about it, and it'd grow back.
Then it'd grow back, and then freeze again. I think, however, the 21 did it in.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
We're talking about some of the trees that you guys will have and with the CPS rebate. 210-308-8867 if you got a question.
He almost ate his microphone.
Yeah. Almost did.
I know.
So some of those I have now.
Okay.
Yes, I think Calvin mentioned that.
Some of them we try to keep a handful, like the orchid tree.
Yeah.
It's a great tree, but very few people ask for it. Just like Mexican buckeye.
One of my favorites.
Is that on here?
I don't
Could be.
I don't think
Maybe.
so. It doesn't get tall enough.
I got Mexican olive, Mexican plum, Mexican sycamore, Mexican white oak.
Yeah. Mexican plum is a great plant for the landscape, but I don't think it's a shade tree.
Yeah.
A great wildlife plant, good for cover, and blooms again.
It's beautiful white blooms. It does put on a fruit that you can't just go eat.
It's like what, about 70%, 80% pit?
Pretty much.
Oh, really?
And it's small like a grape in the first place. So, kind of like a Texas persimmon. Not a whole lot of fruit for your money, but it does taste good.
Okay.
Really makes a nice full sun, specimen tree, or a specimen planting of 3 or 5 of them.
I've heard of people successful making jelly out of.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to go in that. But
I was trying
jelly.
to, but my mouth was full.
No, I thought Calvin was going to go that direction. But yes, a tasty jelly when there's enough fruit.
And this is the Mexican.
The Mexican plum.
Okay.
It's a very interesting colored bark. It's red.
Okay.
I also think the leaf is interesting.
And it's loaded with thorns, so you won't have any kids climbing in that tree.
Okay.
It has some history, relatively short-lived. Maybe I overstate that, but 20 years. I think.
I say that, and people go, "Oh, how long?" I say 25 to 35, and they go, "That's not long." I said, "Well, it's relatively speaking. When you're looking at a live oak or a pecan."
Be around.
Yeah.
Nah, you'll still be here. You'll still be selling them. You'll sell them their second one.
But speaking the M's, they have a Mexican live oak or Mexican white oak.
Mexican white oak, a.k.a.
Monterey oak.
Correct.
Do you think they'd take low cotton leaf oak for this?
Oh, I don't know why not. And if they don't, I would make a special.
They could just call it a red oak, right?
No, it is in the white oak family, just like the Monterey oak is.
Okay.
All right. Did you want to talk about the Monterey oak?
Well, in fact, we were.
Most people would look at it and think it is a Monterey oak with just elongated leaves.
Yeah. Looks more like a loquat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And so I was making a list or helping with a list for Laredo.
Oh.
And that's one of the trees we recommended. It lives at a lower elevation level than the Monterey oak.
Oh, okay.
And so it may be more drought tolerant.
You had talked about the Arizona cypress, and we have those, right? I think. Yeah.
We have living Christmas trees.
Yeah, that's what I thought you brought it up for.
Yeah. Do we have them in the general, tree sales too? We do, don't we?
There's some out here for the living trees, and there's some behind the greenhouse.
More than one selection. They've got there.
I think there's 2 sizes.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe not species, but
color,
but size.
Yeah, because there's quite a few leaf colors.
Now,
really?
And shapes even.
Now, I stopped you on your alphabetical list.
Oh, okay.
Right before one of Calvin and I's favorites.
Oh.
You
Bald
want to know which one it
cypress?
is? No.
Big tooth maple?
No.
Bur oak?
A's. You were in the A's before I stopped you.
Anagua?
Anaqua. That's right. Anaqua.
Okay.
So either a QU or a CU.
Oh, okay.
I'm spelling.
Yeah,
but placement is important because it will produce berries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I used to tease Mark about that because Mark was a factor in getting it added to the list. This was originally, but gosh, I've come to appreciate the one I have. Very dense. The berries the birds love the berries. And the blooms, and it's an evergreen, drought tolerant. So it's a great, and it's a relatively slow grower, but turns out to be a shade tree. It's big enough, I think.
And it's very few pests. It has very few pests.
Yeah,
and the ones that are there, there's a leaf miner, or I'm not quite sure if it's a leaf miner or not, but. On the live oak, on the anaquas, and it makes little white splotches all on the up and down the leaf.
I can see them right now.
Yeah. But other than that, other than freezes, I don't think there's a lot of pests. I've been impressed by its durability.
Well, there's a couple of interesting. We had one shopkeeper complain about it over there.
Oh yeah. I forgot her name. The bonsai.
Yeah.
Over in La Vita.
She should probably remind us. She probably should, because we forget it.
Yeah.
Milton's old; he forgets a lot. But
do what?
We were bragging on it and on aquas. And,
I don't think she
called and she was not a proponent.
Was that Sherry?
Sherry, yes.
Okay, wow.
And wow, good work, Milton. Mm-hmm. And Sherry called and said, Kelvin, I appreciate the fact that you like this tree. If you like it so much, why don't you come over here and clean it out of my shop? Because it's tracked, those berries tracked in there from the outside. And so
lots of berries, lots of birds in an associated manner.
And in fact, when the berries are there, the thing is, and it's a very dense tree, so you can't see into it. But it's alive with the birds.
Moving?
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, you can see the move, and every time the bird moves, and there's 6 or 7, usually 6 or 7 species in there, including the mockingbirds and blue jays and cardinals and every other local species you can think of.
What state am I apologizing to?
I'm forgetting.
I know the name of the team, but I can't remember what state they're in.
Yeah, we'll look during the break.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. So
I know what it is. I'll tell you what it is.
Okay, what is it?
South Carolina.
Oh, that's right.
Clemson is in South Carolina.
So I have to apologize to South Carolina.
Yeah.
So does that mean that Texas won that game?
Yes, it did.
I think I have to apologize to Arizona pretty soon too, don't I?
Yes.
Okay.
Coming up on January 1st, you'll have to. January 2nd, you'll have to apologize. Let's see. We didn't jinx that, did we?
Well,
could be.
Who else won, Trace? Notre Dame, Ohio State.
There was only one game yesterday in my mind.
Ohio State, Penn State.
Penn State, yes, that was the one.
As soon as it was over, another game started to pop on, and I just started working in the garage on Christmas presents.
There you go. All right, we're going to take a quick break. While we do, give us a call.
Please.
We can go over some more of the trees. I want to know about Big Tooth Maple. 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Back in a moment on 9:30 a.m., The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. the answer, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. We're just going through trees that are going to be on the Green Shade Tree Rebate application from CPS.
They are currently on the
Green
Shade.
Yes. So there's a bunch of them. There's lots of choices.
So that lasts from October 1st to the end of April, funds permitting. And there are you can get up to 5 trees per address, and that's lifetime.
Okay.
$50 per tree.
And $50 tree credit, yeah.
Did you want to talk about Big Tooth Maple?
Yeah, well, I do want to talk about Big Tooth Maple. Now, Big Tooth Maple is our native sugar maple, if you will. It's close to the sugar maple family. And it's located up in Los Maples, up in Bandera County.
Not never been there. I need to go there.
I'm sorry. I forget exactly where Los Maples Park is.
Lots of valleys.
Yeah, so that's exactly the point, is it prefers to be in the canyons, and it has an associate. You know what that associate tree is? One is on one side of the canyon, the other is on the other side. Maples are on the south side facing north, and chinkapin oaks are in the canyon on the north side facing south. So, 2 great species, but if I was planting a maple in town, a big tooth maple in town, I would plant it on the north side or east side of your house to mimic what's going on in nature.
Which will mean it's not qualified for the $50.
Well, it can be on the north side. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Calvin. Pick that up. So it's on the east side, maybe the south side, but
it's also not a. Well, I was going to say that it is one that doesn't always get huge, but Dorothy Weedy had one that was very pretty good.
12 inches almost? 10, 12 inches? Yeah, something like that.
Oh, you know what?
And attractive.
Yeah.
And now looking at the, so I was looking at what came up originally in the, and it may have been a list that was old, because I'm not seeing on the new list the Anacacho orchid.
So they may have winnowed out the smaller ones.
What about
y'all? I heard y'all talking about the unicorn of trees.
Well,
the maple,
big tooth maple. It doesn't exist
it hasn't existed in 3 years.
Wow. In the trade.
In this trade, yes. Yeah. So at least anybody we purchase from. Yeah. But I don't know if we could sub in there. But Shangtung maple does well here.
I would put it in there. I'm surprised it's not on there.
I didn't have good luck with it.
And I got a report this last week from David. The Mexican sugar maple that they planted like 3 years ago. Yeah. He said it colored up nicely this year.
Oh, wow.
And I have had some success. Well, I said friends of mine have had success in the Fair Oaks area with it.
So my aunt, or my wife's aunt actually, was an aunt-in-law. What do you call that? Anyway, she planted 3 when Bernie was trying to do Big Tooth and she couldn't find them. So she put that in, and out of the 3, 2 are going gangbusters.
Well, Calvin's right. The bloom is off the Shangtung, if you will. That was going to be the big. A&M had promoted that as the big maple tree for Central Texas, and it is not done as well as they projected. However, having said that, try it out. It's done pretty good at certain locations, so it may work for you.
Those will be due in late January, early February.
Right.
The Mexican sugars is probably going to be sometime February, early March. And Big Tooth, that is a unicorn of trees. I got no idea.
Okay. By the way, if you're looking to
there
find
are still
this,
some of them doing well in neighborhoods around.
If you go to the CPS site and look for the Green Shade Tree Rebate 2425, it'll have green shade tree rebate application 2024-2025. That's the one you want to go to, because that's the one that gives you go further down the page, and it is divided into large trees and medium and small trees. And
well, is the citrus, is the Myers lemon still on there?
It says citrus, any orange, lemon, etc.
Which is scary, but that's okay.
Okay.
So I wonder, Mark, did they take the original list off of the Texas Tree Finder thing?
So, yes. So I produced, me and the San Antonio Trees produced an original one, and we were using Austin pictures because we could get them from the artist. And so that was produced in the early 90s, and then working with CPS Energy, that was what we were using at that period of time. So that was early 90s, and then there are 3 subsequent posters that CPS Energy has produced, and there have been modifications to that since that period of time. But originally the list was from that original poster. So if you can find it, it's actually a black and white poster.
And I was wrong. Anacostia orchid is on the list. It's under the medium and small trees.
Right.
My bad. Desert willow under medium and small trees. Mm-hmm. Is that Bubba or?
Well, I think there's a lot of them that classify.
Oh, is that right?
Bubba, sweet Bubba.
Yeah, that's the one that Trace and I we saw a few years ago.
It's another one that's a little hard pressed to describe as a shade tree, but it's certainly at least as qualified as a number of those that we've talked about.
At one time, I found the biggest one in Texas, and strangely, it was in Cibolo.
How large is it?
It was dethroned shortly thereafter. A tree out in El Paso, but it was 33 feet tall.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And which one was this again? Which one is this again?
This is desert willow.
Oh, desert. Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Is it
33 feet tall for
Chautauqua related?
It was a true desert willow.
Okay.
The ones that grow a lot in El Paso are both desert willows and the Catalpa cross, the Catalpa desert willow cross.
Well, there's a white one near my house, and I think it's called Pink Dawn. So when the blooms first open, it's got a hint of pink, and then within days it looks white, almost like the wild olive.
Mm-hmm. See, there's a lot of variation in those flowers, and that's why it was surprising that Bubba has stayed true all this time. Now, it's probably cultivars, and they're not using the seed.
Oh, okay. It's interesting. You talked about color. What a difference a week makes. So, and we did notice this last week too. When that cold front came in, it's like it just blew in. Like this was full of color last week. This cedar elm, and so was the one out there. And now there's not a single leaf on it.
Yes, but that Montezuma cypress across the way still has lots of color.
It's nice. Has some reddish brown color. Absolutely. Is that common where, like, you're just watching the tree and all of a sudden the cool front comes in, the tree just goes, Wah!
Yeah,
and just drops everything?
Yeah. Well, when we were sitting here, the cedar elm leaves came down in big.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, waves. Leaves are dead, if you will.
So they're
detached. They just haven't lost all their color. So, in other words, the connection between them and the tree have been discontinued a long time ago. It's just we're just waiting for them to fall off.
Okay, so the wind helps them.
When we get to this stage, we always hope for either a really big wind or a very breezy cold front. That way we have, instead of 4 weeks of cleaning them up, we only have one.
Yeah, we only want that one weekend. Ooh, and if it was just a little damp, they would all clump together in one big.
But we're getting a lot of response from gardeners. Questions about. I've got these Texas red oaks, and they're only about 100 feet apart. One is leaves are almost still green. The other one has lost half its leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the deal here? Why are they?
Yeah.
And of course, then you go through and describe the fact that they're all hybrids. And,
they're different ones, or different selections, or they're different ages.
And quite often they're on slopes.
Yeah, that has to do with it.
And our neighborhoods don't have great soils. So.
Most of the timing is done by winter or night length, and so that's pretty consistent. But then you have all these other factors: slope, aspect, whether it's north facing or east facing or west facing.
Oh, wow!
And then species. So everything, weather conditions. You
access to water can make a big difference if it's near a pool or something.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the pool is not leaking, but maybe it is.
Maybe. Do you know this from experience with the pool?
Yeah.
Oh no, not.
Okay.
That's one of the few things that hasn't leaked in mine.
Oh, cedar elm is one of the trees.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, and that's one of my top trees.
Yeah, I like cedar elm.
Yeah, that's good. That's a
It's a
wonderful.
pretty tree.
Will we get? This is a question directed at Trace.
Trace.
Will we get any Camby's Oak, Sierra, Red Oak?
I'm pretty sure I've got one or two back there right now.
Okay.
But I did not see anything available in our normal booking.
Over the past year and a half, almost 2 years, we have seen a lot of Schumacher Red Oaks go down or have big branches that have died back.
Oh.
One of the suggested replacements has been the Sierra Red Oak, which is a smaller leaf red oak from Davis and Chisos Mountains.
Okay.
It doesn't really look like a red oak, though.
No.
It doesn't. No. And I'll be honest with you, really poor color.
Sierra is
Yeah.
on this list, and Texas red oak are all on the list.
So if I have my druthers, people, if they wanted a red oak, I'd make sure if I try a Texas red oak or a Sierra red oak.
How about commenting on bur oak? It's kind of taken a tough. It's had a tough year.
It's had a tough couple of years.
Yeah.
With that big leaf, the rule of thumb, just general, is that big leaf plants, big leaf trees require a little bit more water. So think of sycamores, cottonwoods, that big leaves. And so the last couple of years, the bur oaks with their big leaf had kind of took it on the chin.
They've always had a tendency to make a decision about dropping their leaves early. Yeah, I'm not going to fight with this dry weather.
Yeah. About my birthday, August 15th, they go, hey, I may stay on a little bit longer, or I'm going to go, I've had it. I'm just ready to drop.
But what the thing that I think is interesting is that it's looked on by a lot of gardeners and horticulturists as one of the toughest trees and one of the trees that'll survive in a lot of different habitats.
Yeah. Historically, that is the tree that expands from the eastern forests to...
Yeah, the eastern forest.
Where Tracy showed me about loquat leaf oak.
Oh, okay. Loquat
and
leaf oak.
I highly recommend it. I don't know if you can get it.
I have.
You have some?
I have some.
Oh.
Huh.
Okay, read the first sentence.
Now, this isn't on the list.
That's where I got my information.
Yeah, I know. That's where you said it. I mean, you were just reading off that line. I don't know who wrote that. Scientific query, where was I going?
You were talking about the bur oak.
Historically, this is one of the trees that moves out from the eastern forest along the rivers and streams into the Great Plains because it could tolerate fire.
Oh.
So given an opportunity that if it had enough rain, it could grow and establish in those heavier soils of the Great Plains.
Okay. It can tolerate what?
The heavy clay soils.
Oh.
And
the
fire.
heavy prairie soils, which were dominated by periodic fire.
Oh, okay. So you said it could tolerate fire?
It could tolerate fire because if you ever seen a bur oak, you see this big, thick bark. And if the fire would prairie fire would come through, it would be able to tolerate that. It also spends a lot of its energy, early energy, in putting in this massive root system. And so a lot of people go, it's not growing. No, it's growing, but it's growing below ground.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden a fire would come through and then maybe burn the top a little bit, and then it would just take all this huge storage energy and just go, whoo, and go really tall and then bypass the fire the next time around.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. While we do, you give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. More of Milberger's Gardening South Texas coming up live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery, 1604 on Boulevardy Road. We want you to come on by and visit with us, ask your gardening question in person, or just come by and wave and say hi. Back in a moment.
We're back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Boulevardy Road. Come out to visit or call us at 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. And now back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 930 AM, The Answer.
And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas. Milton Glueck along with Mark Peterson, Dr. Calvin Finch, and your calls 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Were you finished talking about the loquat leaf oak? Or because you were talking more about you were certainly very enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, I think it should be one of the trees that are planted frequently in San Antonio. That and the Monterey oak or Mexican live oak. I'm supposed to say that because Monterey is trademarked. I can't say that.
What is this loquat?
Loquat leaf oak. It looks take a Monterey oak. There, I did it again. Mexican white oak, and lengthen the leaf and make it more pointy. The end more pointy, and that's where I was disagreeing with Trace. He was showing me it was a red oak, and I think it was in the white oak group, but I'll have to look, and we'll make an announcement later on. But anyway, so very straight, very straight, full canopy, semi-evergreen, just like the other two, like live oak and
Mexican white oak.
Yeah. And so...
where's it native?
Native to the same area, Saltillo, Monterey, Monclova, that northern Mexico, the mountains of northern Mexico. It's albeit at a lower altitude. So the Mexican live oak is probably about 5,000 feet. And this was about 3,000 to 4,000 feet above sea level. So it may be more drought tolerant. That's the whole point of that.
That's it. Can now be seen, though not purchased and grown by any gardener.
I don't know. We have some here.
We have some here, yes. It seems in countries as far-flung as New Zealand, Italy, Luxembourg, and some parts of the U.S., including Texas, California, Oregon, and the Carolinas. That's what, according to ministryofthefence.me.
And then, in 20 years from now, we'll be reading about the efforts to control this invasive plant.
This person named Mark Peterson.
Yeah. Where is that guy now?
Hiding.
We got to get him,
But Calvin's right. Some of the best laid plans have gone astray. Bermuda grass, Johnson grass, kudzu.
In South Africa, prickly pear.
Yeah, prickly pear. That's an excellent one.
Lantanas.
Tallow.
Okay.
And here, Chinese pistache, which I like, but...
yeah. So I drive down this one street, and I could see all kinds of Chinese pistache, and then I'd see 3 huge, large ones, and I'm going, that's where it's from. In the neighborhood. Anyway.
All right. Were there any other ones that you wanted to bring up
Let's see.
Texas walnut.
Now, one of the things he should talk about it, because it's an interesting topic, and people can make mistakes about it, are the sycamores.
Oh,
yeah,
Mexican sycamore is on the list.
Mexican sycamore versus American sycamore. Mexican sycamore is a far superior tree.
Okay.
And the key characteristic of that, or two characteristics, it'll generally have a wider trunk on that, but the main thing is on the leaves, they are very fuzzy and white almost with the fuzz on the bottom. And what that does, it prevents a common insect called a lacebug, which affects the American sycamore to great effect around August. But they can't get into the Mexican sycamore because of all this fuzz on the bottom.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. So and the Mexican are more. They retain their leaves a lot longer.
Well, and then there's does that have anything that relationship with the lace bugs to the diseases that the American sycamore is subjected to?
Yeah, it seems to have some more diseases on the. Not so much on the anthracnose, but yes. So anthracnose is the major disease, or a couple of other leaf fungi on the sycamore, and that big blotches on the leaf.
Of course, if you go east, then the American sycamore becomes a legitimate choice. Right?
Yeah, and so that come to think of it, that the fuzz on the bottom makes the sycamore more tolerant of drought.
Oh, really?
So if you think about it, the stomates open up, and the trees producing food and getting carbon dioxide in and shooting out oxygen. But if it's hot and dry, well, the wind, it goes across the leaves, and just like us, we perspire, and it evaporates off. Well, a tree really doesn't want a lot of evaporation going on while they're producing food, so that fuzz, that hair underneath the leaf, slows the evaporation down. So it's a natural adaptation to drought.
That's
or
interesting.
Prevention of drought.
So much better choice for
our area. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And repeat for everybody what that one was again?
That was the Mexican sycamore.
Okay.
Versus
the American.
Versus the American.
Okay. I'm trying to think of what else. Lots of oaks. Did I read all these? The Shumard. The Sierra. Yeah. We talked about those. Italian stone pine.
Mm-hmm. Which we have.
These are all the large ones.
We have deodar. We didn't get Italian stone pine for our living Christmas trees this year.
Right.
Yeah.
Oops, I missed the page. We can talk about the Eve's necklace.
It's So I take it that not all the trees on the list are native trees.
No. So it is not.
Citrus is not.
It's not strictly limited to native. What did we just say? Oh, Italian stone pine. Yeah. It's not native.
Okay. Eve's necklace?
Yeah. One of my top understory trees.
Oh, okay.
So I would classify it as an understory. But that is the mountain laurel's cousin.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a deciduous cousin of the mountain laurel.
Huh.
It has a pink flower as opposed to a purple.
And is it still as fragrant as the mountain laurel?
It's not as fragrant.
Not as?
Not as fragrant.
Okay.
No. There's some family dispute. It's not as fragrant.
Okay.
But it's not. That's not pejorative. Everyone is loved in the mountain laurel family.
Okay, yeah, I love our mountain laurels. A couple sumacs, evergreen and flame leaf.
We talked about those.
What's that?
For color.
Yeah.
Somebody had asked about color, I think, one day.
Okay.
Fall color.
Oh, yeah. We did talk about those. I remember that now. Let's see. I'll give you the number because I just messed this up. 210-308-8867. I think, we're almost out of the trees that were, there's the Ratama.
Yeah.
Good, bad, yes, no, love it, hate it?
No, I don't hate it. Okay. I love all trees.
That's another one. It's a little hard to define as a shade tree.
No, these are the small and medium trees on the list.
Well, and the other thing is a Ratama doesn't seem the leaves are hard to even call leaves.
Yeah, they're highly pinnately compound is what we say. So they're almost like a feather. It's not, a feather doesn't give a lot of shade.
No. Let's see.
Anything unusual? Anything that you don't know?
Texas ebony?
Yeah, that's the one I got ridiculed for.
Ooh.
That came off one of the original lists. That is strictly a Rio Grande Valley tree. Strictly.
Oh, okay.
I was tormented for many, many years by that. That tree.
Are you over it yet, or
no?
Are you still seeking?
I was not. I'm
Apparently
still tormented about it.
I don't even want to bring up pecan under the big trees because y'all.
Well, these past couple
time.
of years, we've had a lot of issues with pecans. A lot of people planting them where they shouldn't.
But it, in terms of the definitions for the CPS trees, it's hard not to include pecans in there. Did they not include pecans?
They are.
Yeah, they did include pecans, but that was one of the additional rules that was going to be applied was do not plant it closer than 15 feet or 20 feet from the house, or closer you may. There was going to be a distance limitation, but there was much discussion decided to go against that. My point is, who would plant a pecan 2 feet from their house?
You might have one come up accidentally.
There you go. There you go. And
the
then
squirrels would.
The squirrels would plant it. However, it doesn't mean that you must keep it that close.
Is it hard to dig up?
Oh, gosh.
No. I took my saw to them when I first moved into the new house.
Oh, okay.
It's fairly easy to take your little pruning shears.
Yeah, pruning shears. And
cut vine and stump killer.
Yeah. But because you'll need that. And then Yopon holly, no dwarf varieties.
Right. That would make not any sense for any shade.
Well,
maybe for a shade for like a little lizard.
No, it says it's in the small to medium.
Yeah. No, I'm saying there's a reason why there's no dwarf varieties.
Oh, the dwarf variety. Okay,
yeah.
I didn't quite hear you.
They're kind of like the little gumdrops.
And mesquite. I think we all know what mesquite is.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's probably not a good shade tree, but it's a very interesting tree. Sure.
So it's right on that borderline.
In my neighborhood, it's a classic kind of a decorative part of the landscape.
That's why Trace asked, where did this list come from, or did it originate? And he correctly guessed it was off the original recommended shade tree list for San Antonio. Recommended tree list for San Antonio. So that was a mesquite. But does it produce enough shade? Yeah. Kind of questionable.
Oh, okay. And
that's interesting, Milton. Yeah. Do you remember when the? It was back when it used to rain.
Wow, I remember. I've heard tell of those times.
And or when we also had access to sprinklers for lawns. One of the issues was people were trying to the well-watered lawn and the healthy mesquites did not go hand in hand.
Oh,
because the mesquites prosper in a dry situation. San Augustine grass did not prosper there, so you had to kind of make a choice between one or the other.
That sounds like one of the ones we were talking about in the beginning, where you said you didn't think it was. It grew. It was from Uvalde and stuff.
Yeah. So Lucina retusa, golden leadball tree,
and
right. Anacacho orchid tree. Appropriate watering is okay, but the way to kill them is by overwatering.
Okay.
Same thing with Ratama and many of these west and southwest species.
And what should you do after you get your trees and you're getting ready to plant before you do anything else?
Dig the hole.
Well, no. Before you dig the hole, you're going to call something.
Huh?
You're going to dial some number.
Oh, thank you, Milton. 811-811.
Yeah.
Dig test.
Okay. Well, that lady called us up last week and was corrected us on that.
Tormenting us because
she
wasn't.
She didn't torment us, but she was correcting us. So. All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867.
You know what we haven't reminded people of today yet is that there's still a good supply and colors of the cyclamen. If you want to get a show, if you're going to make a little holiday visit and you want to carry something that's very impressive and easy to care for, but not very expensive, that cyclamen would be. It's just like our. It can last at least a year in the landscape in the house. If people put it a little ways away from the window and little eastern exposure and keep it watered. It's not a xeriscape plant, but it's very attractive and it's easy to keep alive.
Ooh, they bought a lot of poinsettias. Looks like they bought 3 or 4. 4, I think. Yeah, good for them. They're pretty. They sure are pretty. They're the poinsettias that we have. I know are 25% off, and you say they're floral grade. Mm-hmm. And that means what?
They're prettier than everybody else's.
Okay.
Put it in a nutshell, that's what it means.
Okay.
And we take care of them, and most other people do not.
Well, quite often the definition is that, floral, where you buy like rose.
Florist?
Yeah, florist versus a nursery or a hardware store.
Oh, okay. All different sizes. I see some little guys in there.
Yeah. Still pretty good color selection.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly red, but we do have whites and pinks. We still have some mixes left.
You got the freckles in there? I don't think they're called that. But
they're not called that, but I don't know. I have to go look.
Okay. Peter, we tried to trick Peter to come up here.
Yeah, you're not going to get it. I've already discussed it with him.
Yeah, he said, Japanese cars, I'll talk about them all day long. Greenhouse, I said, what if we put a Japanese car in the greenhouse? Will you talk about that?
Don't do that.
What's that?
Don't do that, please.
Okay. Well, he did say he would talk about it if we put one in there.
I bet. But we've had a Japanese-made car in the store before.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Really? Oh, dear.
Right there.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It was in the grounds.
I missed the gate, though.
Yeah.
He made a gate about 40 feet long.
Yeah. All right, 210-308-8867. And Trace, talk a little bit about what else we got here and what's going on.
Well, what I've seen today is a lot of last-minute Christmas gifts.
Okay.
So we had a couple just a little while ago looking for bird baths. Lots and lots of gift cards.
Oh, good. Okay. And then are they doing the E or the hard card?
Yes.
Okay.
Ethan has to be involved in the E card, though.
Okay, that's okay.
So if they want to do it today, Ethan's here. Tomorrow.
Yeah. And the E card is what?
They get the gift card emailed to them, and that way you don't have to wait on the mail.
Yeah.
And they get it instantaneously.
And then can you email it to yourself? Then you email it to the person you want to give it to?
Probably.
Yeah.
But we are asking for the recipient's email.
Okay.
But my assumption is, yes, you probably could do that.
Okay. It makes sense. I mean, you can do that with other things, I know, so I'm guessing on those you can do that too. We've got the cyclamen. We've got the trees still.
Yes.
How are we doing on now? I think yesterday we were, I don't remember how many we had yesterday, but how many do we got today?
It was like 45 4 or something like that this morning.
Okay. So
still good looking.
Any particular amounts? That balsamic versus the normal versus
what's the most popular?
Balsamic.
I think the quantity this go around is in Nordman's and taller ones. But we do have a chainsaw. So if somebody says, I really like that tree, but I want it to be 5 feet tall,
you can make that happen.
We can make it happen.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, I know Mark bought the wreaths and the garlands, the living.
There's no garland. We do have wreaths.
Wreaths,
still.
okay.
Yeah. It's very nice.
Yeah.
It's on my door now.
Oh, good. And then Christmas cactus.
Yes, we have those too.
Okay, and amaryllis bulbs?
We have a handful of loose ones and a handful of ones that are already potted. And in a few days, the blooms probably will be open. Almost perfect timing.
And citrus, you still have plenty of citrus.
Lots of citrus.
Do we have a good bunch of iris left? It's a good time to plant iris.
There's a good chunk of iris, although probably within the next 2 weeks we will probably plant whatever's left. We did real well with those as growing plants last year.
Oh, plant, yeah.
So definitely much more inexpensive now. Once I put the pot and the soil and the body to do it, the price is going to double.
Sure.
Yeah, and they're a pretty spectacular plant. In most cases, the deer do not eat them, and they bloom and they make a good ground cover. And you don't have to have much soil. You plant them.
I'm laughing because I think over the years it went for deer resistant to, in most cases, deer won't eat them.
In some neighborhoods under some conditions.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. While we do, give us a call, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. More of Milberger's Gardening, South Texas, coming up live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery, 1604 on Boulevardy Road on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. 210-308-8867. What's going on in your garden? Let us see if we can help you out. If you got a question, and make it a little better. Hey, yesterday we talked about all the new indoor plants, the house plants, and we've got a seminar coming up.
We do.
On January 11th. It's free from 10 to 11:30, featuring Mr. David Rodriguez on indoor plants and care. And
we hope, because we do have a delivery coming, we hope that the poinsettias are gone.
Okay.
And that new delivery can all be out on the tables and still leave room for the seminar to be in there. That's the goals. Seminar inside the greenhouse.
Yeah, that would be good. For a couple reasons. One, it'll be nice and warm, but two, you're amongst the same plants he's talking about.
Correct.
Yeah. And
how much was that?
What's that? Absolutely free. How much would you expect to pay for a seminar from David Rodriguez? $20,
$100.
No. $200, not even $300, not even $25. It's free.
Now, don't be careful now. David is taking notes on this.
Oh, is he? Okay. But no, David does a great job, and I like the fact that David stays and answers all the questions and does kind of above and beyond the call of duty to make sure that everybody, even if it's not an indoor houseplant question, he'll stay. You got a favorite back there? Calvin mentioned the orchids yesterday. You got a favorite you like in the?
I am fond of ponytail palms.
Okay.
And ZZ plants.
And which ones? Oh, yeah, you mentioned those before.
Which one is that?
Zimmericallus zimerifolia, which nobody can remember, so it has the nickname ZZ plant.
Okay. You were drinking Zimericola before, weren't you?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's only when I'm during my depression days. So
oh, yeah. You got a favorite house plant?
He did take the ponytail palm from me. But I also like the corn plant. And I've always been fond, although it's very temperamental, of the Ficus benjamina. Ficus plant, or what I fondly call the mall tree.
The mall?
The mall tree.
Oh.
Because, we could grow it in malls.
Is that
malls,
the one that...
M-A-L-L.
Yeah. Is that the one where if you move it, kind of...
That's why I said it's temperamental.
But it's only temporary, isn't it? The shock or whatever the problem...
Oh, yeah. It doesn't die, but every time you move it, you expect a reaction by the plant.
So you should expect a reaction taking it from the nursery home?
Yes.
Okay. That's interesting. You got a fave? I know you talked about the orchids.
Phalaenopsis orchids.
The orchids, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. They're sure pretty. They've come a long way. I can remember when we talked about them originally and how excited everybody was about them, and now
they're easy to grow, easy to get them to bloom.
They'll bloom for a while too, won't they?
Oh gosh, yeah.
So you think
so like
Valentine's Day if you buy them?
6 months, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And they're a great plant and a good in the house plant, and the A&M professors and horticulturists did a good job of developing it as expanding its use. Different, bigger plants and more blooms.
Blooms.
Unbelievable.
Different shades. Very, yeah.
Nobody...
Got to give those horticultural students something to do.
Nobody ever mentions my favorite. I'm a Diefenbachia person.
Yes, you are.
That sounds like something that would be a poison or something.
It's
Diefenbachia.
Dumb cane.
Yeah.
Yeah. It causes your tongue to expand if you...
The doctor said I got a bad case of Diefenbachia.
But I got the salve. It's going to be just fine. Not worried about it.
No, Diefenbachia will eliminate your pain.
Oh.
Will kill you,
but only if you eat it, right? It's not going to sneak up on you or...
We better be careful.
Okay.
Some youngster.
Yeah. No, it's supposed to be, it causes your tongue to expand or something, doesn't it? Okay. Call us if you know. 210-3.
Yes, it's got a name like that.
8867.
Like
so the Chinese evergreen is probably my most favorite because you can hardly kill it. Although some people have.
I like that.
Yeah.
What is it?
Chinese evergreen.
Oh.
It's one of the more common ones. You go, what is that?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm going to look it up real quick.
Chinese evergreen. Or peace lily. No, that's a different one.
Chinese evergreen. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That's pretty. And actually, this looks like... Oh, no, it's not. I thought it was in a hanging basket. But it's not.
Anyway. But, yes. So
it has red, too? There's a red Chinese evergreen and a white one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Normally we do the white one.
Okay.
I'm going to go over and get a Christmas present out of the greenhouse once we get done with our show.
Oh, okay.
Would you like to guess what I'm going to get?
I'm going to guess you're getting a
this
Chinese
is for
evergreen?
a couple that has a wide variety of indoor plants.
Poinsettia.
No.
Chinese evergreen.
No.
Did I do that right?
Phalaenopsis orchid.
No. What else do we have that have been flying out the greenhouse?
Flying out of the grackles?
Oh, the Venus flytrap.
There you go.
Yeah, I remember that
from
from
a flytrap.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I thought it would be kind of unusual.
Are they hard to take care of?
Yeah, I think so. But these guys can do it.
Okay.
They're tuned to it.
You have to have flies, or you just feed them other stuff?
No.
You pretend you have flies and...
Well, it could be flies or
I've got some drainage gnats that I can.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was going to say, gnats. Yeah.
He was talking about the pitcher plants for the gnats. You going to get him a pitcher plant?
I was thinking. I was going to see what our selection is, but we probably have selection on both. A wide selection on both. But I was just going to see.
How big will the Venus flytraps get?
Oh, we're only talking about like 4 inches.
Okay.
I mean, they're very little. Maybe 6. But pitchers are about the same size.
Okay.
But the pitcher, I have a problem with my T's and P's.
Okay. Pitcher.
Yeah, a pitcher plant has a nice shape to it. It's a funnel.
Yeah.
With a nice little leaf curly Q on the top. So
that attracts Calvin's
gnats. See, that's what I think would be appropriate.
Oh.
So I'm leaning that way now.
Okay.
Thinking about it.
We want to know what you decide.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other ones that I like the corn too. That's the big tall one with the thin leaves. That kind
yes. And
mostly
again, indestructible.
Yeah.
So just like the ponytail, the corn is fairly indestructible. And if it gets too tall, what do you do?
Just cut it down?
You just cut it, yeah.
And
it'll grow right at that point. So you cut it the appropriate height.
Oh,
it'll come out at the cut or slightly below it.
And did you understand that's why I like the Diefenbachia?
Yeah.
Because as a small child, I bumped into ours.
Yes, as a small child, you broke it.
I broke it and then just tried to get away with it by sticking it in the soil.
Yeah.
And it just rooted.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
You were saved.
Wind.
Yeah, it is good. Look how.
Oh, is it changing?
Yeah, it looks like it might be. All right.
They have to get the sail out. Sailors, come on.
210-308-8867.
We have a sail that's ruffling in the wind.
210-308-8867. Calvin, you mentioned maybe we'll get David when he comes up here on the 11th to talk a little bit, but you mentioned you had some seminars coming up with the Bexar County Master Gardeners, right?
Well, we're working on the schedule.
Uh-huh.
We have a sheet with David's scheduled, and then we're trying to fill in the all the butterfly and milkweed classes and the potting up tomato classes, the spaces that are available.
Why would someone want to become a Bexar County Master Gardener?
Oh, why?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, God, what a great place to learn more about horticulture. Mm-hmm. Meet some great people that think a lot like you do, or they love gardening. And it's an opportunity to fill your time with something that's very useful and contributes to the well-being of the community. So that may be all you need.
It's...
I forget, Milton, what class were you?
I don't know what class we're in. What class?
No, what class were you?
No, I was not. It was the problem was that I had working the same time.
Yeah, I know. It was a working problem.
Yes.
I mean, you were working the same time you were taking the class.
Yeah.
So it was scheduling.
What class are we in? Do you know?
No, but I was just.
Are they still
let's see.
Numbers?
The first one was in.
I think we're in the 50s.
The first one was in 1989.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 90. There's 10, 11. Gosh, and we had back then we would have 4 or 5 classes a year, a few of the years. Let's say we just had 2, 10, 24. There's 50, 60. Must be 60 plus.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I don't know. Some years only one. COVID years, for example.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Or 0. So. Yeah, I think high 50s. I think that's my guess. Well, if anyone knows out there.
Yeah, what's the next? David, call us. Someone call David and have him call us.
Yeah, but my guess is high 50s.
Okay, so you get to learn a lot. You get to attend interesting seminars. You get to hang out with other people and have camaraderie, people who enjoy gardening as much as you do. You get to volunteer in the community doing something that you like. Anything else, or did we cover all the stuff?
Well, those are pretty good. Yeah.
And how about those?
What a wonderful way to spend your time too, and keep adding to the list if you want to.
Yeah.
Good exercise. You learn more about nutrition, gardening, vegetable gardening.
Yeah.
So.
And Mark, you hang around with those GVST people. You want to talk about them a minute? Gardening Volunteers of South Texas?
Oh, well, yeah, as I mentioned yesterday, we're developing our list of videos for this upcoming year. And the main theme is going to be water conservation. So we're still developing the types of videos that we're going to be doing, but we'll probably do a few landscapes and some other. We're going to do some how-tos. We're going to do some Mark Mithens.
And what do those volunteers, Gardening Volunteers of South Texas, do?
Oh, the volunteer group. They have once a month meetings, and they talk about gardening issues and again social enjoyment, and then public events, which they help man tables and answer questions. And they also have a monthly newsletter, plus our website, which is fairly easy, gardeningvolunteers.southtexas.org.
Okay.
I would have said like-minded, possible friends.
Yep. Yeah, I think both organizations that's a good description. Yes, sir?
Well, I don't know. I kind of hesitate on the like-minded because one of the best pitches is that it's a diverse group. It represents all parts of the community.
But everybody likes
all
plants.
Ages. What? No?
Yeah, they all like gardening.
They all like gardening, so that's where the like-minded comes in.
Yeah,
not talking politics.
No.
Of course, one of the things we talk in the resolutions, which will be, I think that's the next article that comes out. The resolutions. One of the issues that we recommend is that folks consider. Not just sticking to the gardening things that they're comfortable with. Try something new.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can talk a little bit more about that. We're going to take a quick break. Be back in a moment. 210-308-8865. Back in a moment with more of Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. When we left, Calvin, you had a good idea, which was to kind of maybe try things that you hadn't tried before, kind of in the gardening world. Do you have any tips, like, maybe joining specific clubs, or if you're not into water gardening, maybe kind of, what are you thinking along those lines?
Well, I don't think we have to do that. I think if a person is content wants to spend more time in a certain type of gardening, that they're welcome to do that. It's just if they're kind of looking for ways to fill time, they're looking for things to be useful. You can go new directions, and if there's a million environmental issues that people can have, we could use to help in our communities, and gardeners are probably the best equipped to address some of those issues and to participate in those rulemaking. San Antonio is very successful on the water conservation. One of the reasons is that citizens, including gardeners, really have a lot of input. So that's one of the issues that I'd like to see people participate in, and then I do like the idea that if the gardeners, when you look at a typical gardening organization, or you go to the Gardening Volunteers of South Texas meetings, how diverse the group is, and kind of different values and issues, but they work together on some wonderful projects and events. So it's just a real positive opportunity for the individual involved and also for the community.
As I was going to mention, we were talking a little bit about resolutions right before the break, and Calvin and I were talking during the week, and he was asking a few questions, and I said, "Haven't you written a resolution column before? And he goes, oh, gosh, yes, several. And so there you go. On resolutions, sometimes we just have to make those resolutions many times. So, but
I think next Saturday is the resolution column.
Yeah, that's what I think we were talking about this week, because it was going to be next Saturday.
I thought next Saturday was how to keep your Christmas plants alive. No?
No, I think, well,
maybe it is. Maybe it is 2 weeks, because they would be approaching the new year, so maybe resolutions. Maybe it's 2 weeks.
We'll have to see. It'll be an adventure.
Yes.
We'll have to see
It'll
which
be
one.
Exciting to find out.
Well, part of the problem is that because of the holiday, I had to do a number of columns at the same time to meet the needs of the newspapers and also meet my schedule. So it'll be kind of an adventure to see which one comes out first.
We will find out.
But Mark's right. We've got lots of potential resolutions for gardeners. So if they want to consider, they want to make more use of their time and their knowledge. There's just lots of great ways they can do it and be valuable to us as a community and valuable to them.
We got Bert on the line at 210-308-8867. Hey there, Bert. Welcome to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas. How you doing?
I'm still having the breath of life, and it sounds like so do you all. So I'm very thankful for that on both aspects.
You have better weather? Are you having better weather or better weather? Or are you having...
Well, the sun is shining. This is how I like to say it when people give me the greeting of the day. The grass is green, the sky is blue. I got the breath of life, and so do you, and I'm very thankful for that.
There you go.
But anyway, you say I heard about that. This is the Bert from Chalmette. I've been talking to you all a while.
Yes. It took me a moment. That's why I was stalling, Bert.
So right outside New Orleans.
Bert had a stroke and a heart attack, and then when I got out the hospital, the apartment complex stole and threw away all my plants.
No.
Oh, that's just wrong.
Everything. Yeah. So I just say I still never give them. I still got, but I'm like, okay. Well, right now I'm turning my my fancy towards succulents and edible succulents. And according to this little classes that come up, do you have any aspects on that about edible succulents? And stuff that's good for this environment instead of incorporating lawns and everything and contributing to our water crisis. And I'm not trying to be mean or angry or something. I'm just saying.
Our friend Paul Cox used to eat the cactus without the ones that were...
Oh, yeah, the nopales, prickly pear without
Nopalitos,
the prickles.
Yes, I eat them.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, they are, especially the fruit when you make a good jam out of it. Wow.
And Paul's partner in the book, in the Texas Trees, A Friendly Guide, Patty Leslie, is well known for eating various plants. And she'll go, oh, and that plant was used by the pioneers and Native Americans and I would always go, oh, okay. So,
well, I would also like to say, if I may interrupt a second, I think everybody should see how beautiful and how very significant water is to us and go behind Incarnate Word, the Living Village, and go see the original Blue Hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, you got to see it after it rains, though, because if you go, you're going to find a dry well.
There you go. Exactly right.
Well, how would
I just wanted to touch bases because I know this is the last of 2024 of your shows. And don't say that. I mean, I haven't. Look, I've been just getting the wind back in my sails. Okay, that's all.
Okay, well, cool.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad you're back, Bert.
I am too, man.
Where does Bert find out?
Like you said.
Good. Go ahead, Bert.
Well, no, I just like to know if you repeat before you go out there when this show it, because I didn't have my pen and pencil at hand to write it all down. Is it like a master gardener, or is it with the Garden Volunteers of San Antonio scenario?
Which one? What we talked about both of them.
Okay. Well, like I said, if it'll be on like either Plant Answers or if I can come back and just like re-tap into the Answer webpage and find it out on that, that'd be great also.
So I'll give you the quick thumbnail sketch. You got your Bear County Master Gardeners, and you can go to their website, Bear County AgriLife Extension, or another group we talked about were the Gardening Volunteers of South Texas.
Okay, I know them.
Okay.
They usually have meetings at like the Lions Club Day where they introduce and show us native plants and such.
There you go. Sometimes I speak, and sometimes they have lots of different other speakers.
Do we still have a Xerophyte Society, the Cactus and Xerophyte?
I don't know. You asked me that a couple weeks ago, and I never did find out.
Okay.
So
I'll look it up online.
But that,
those contacts will be in the resolution article, too.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
I got to sign up for that. I got to sign up for that, and like you said, I'll find out. I'll go back online and look it up. And like you said, the Master Gardeners, I know them, because that's one thing I'll say. I don't care, and I'm not trying to get too religious, but if you're looking at a lot of belief societies around the earth, man and woman's original intent was to tend and keep the garden.
There you go. Thank you, Bert.
That reminds me.
Y'all have a good one, and you have Feliz Navidad y Prospero Año Felicidad. Did I get it correct?
Is it the Bon Temps Roulette? Did I do that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I let them dice roll a long time ago. That's why I'm back at New Orleans.
Okay. Thank you, sir. You take care.
Bye now.
Bye.
All right. Hey, looking online, the San Antonio Cactus and Xerophyte met on November 20th, 2024 at 7 p.m. at the Garden Center.
So
it sounds like they're still going on.
And what I was also going to mention to Bert was the San Antonio Men's Garden Club, which meets the first Thursday of every month at the Garden Club, San Antonio San Antonio Garden Club, right there in Funston.
But it's not all men.
It's not all men.
No, in fact, the past president was a woman.
I was waiting for Calvin to do that. Thank you. Yeah.
I went to their Christmas meeting. It was very
I missed it.
Great food and a lot of fun. And now that's another, the Men's Garden Club with the membership. Calvin
was passing the word that I had passed away.
That's what I understood. Calvin doesn't always do people favors. Where's Mark? Oh, you didn't know? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you, Calvin.
Yeah,
but
anyway,
thank you for nothing.
That's another good place to
It's another good place, yes.
And you know our new president, Charles Bartlett's friend.
Albert.
Huh?
Albert
is the new president of the Men's Garden Club, and his goal, he gave a little speech, his goal is to expand the membership and especially target some more young people.
I was going to say young people? Question mark?
That's what he's going to target.
Okay.
And he is an active, aggressive.
Just saying.
Okay. Well, we'll have to have Albert on.
That's a good point, Milton.
Okay. Now, someone call Albert and tell him to call us.
I will
Not now, but
no.
You call him.
I'll call him later this afternoon.
All right. Well, we're getting ready to run out of time. We want to make sure that we do take a second and make sure that you know that we want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas, because next Christmas will be over by the time we get here next time. We still do have one more show in 2024, Bert. That's next week, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now Milberger's will be closed on Christmas Day, but open again the next day. It closes at noon on the 24th on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
We'll have two shows in.
Yeah.
Yes, we will. Yeah. Saturday and Sunday will both be. So we'll have to talk about some of those resolutions a little bit if it's your article comes out. Anything else we need to talk about before we say goodbye?
No, just everybody have a Merry Christmas and a good time. and be positive with folks and take advantage of this wonderful weather and get active in your garden.
Yeah.
And if you're traveling, safe travels, and hope everyone returns to San Antonio safe and sound.
There we go. Perfect. Thanks to Al for doing a great job. Thanks to you for listening. I'm Milton Glueck. We'll see you next week on Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.